Yo, call me Tom the way with Maddie. I got the Addy here. Everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Kids. Today, and only today, we are here to talk about, that's right, the Sonic movie, specifically getting into finally ranking each of the Sonic movie characters, right? You know, we've gotten some time to marinate, sit down, talk, so I figured we'd sit down, rank these characters, have a good day, you know, do our usual show. We just, we shoot the shit, talk, and of course, in the comment section below, you will let me know your favorites. Make sure to subscribe to your boy and support the content, and like the video. If you like me, please. I know you like, please, man, please. All right, let's start this. Do I want to start? Let's start with Sonic. So, movie Sonic, this is the character that I feel like is discussed the most. Obviously, you know, he's the main character. I do think movie Sonic for me is going. Let me think about it. Let's talk about it, right? I love movie Sonic. I think he's cool. I think it's a different interpretation of the character. He is played as more of an alien that came to Earth, right? And, you know, has cool powers, does cool things. And he learns about growing up a lot. You know, in movie one, you see it's somebody who was isolated and alone, having a friend for the first time, living life, you know, experiencing things after isolation. In movie two, you know, he has parents and he's learning to be a hero, right? And, you know, when to do heroic things, when to do stuff with other people, how to work together, how to help solve things, you know. And then with movie three, you have a character that, you know, understands, has a whole family, right? And you see what happens when he gets revenge filled, you know, towards the end of it. But I do think it's Sonic at the end of the day, and he does very cool things. And of course, not all his jokes hit. You know, I know the thing about movie Sonic is like he makes a lot of references to things. I do think that's, for the most part, he does some funny references, and I think, like I said, he's very much a teenager in these movies. When I see movie Sonic, I'm like, that's a teenage dude, right there, you know, making dumb jokes and having a good time with his friends. But he's cool. I mean, in movie three especially, I feel like they upped his coolness for me by a lot. You know, I love the motorcycle chase scene with Shadow that he does. You know, I love all the cool moves he's able to pull off. Obviously, you know, motorcycling to the top of a building, you know, while he's spin dashing, even when he's like running through London. And he's doing like all those like fun little things, like going in the building, doing the different Beetle character poses. Like, I think there's some cool shit that Sonic does, including Supersonic. When he's Supersonic, he locks the fuck in. In general, I think when movie Sonic locks in, that's my favorite part about the character, is when movie Sonic is locked in, he's in. You know, when he fought Knuckles in movie 2, he was serious. You know, he wasn't like cracking like a bunch of jokes through it. He was just, you know, fighting. In movie 3, when he's ready to beef with Knuckles, he's ready to beef. You know, when he pulls up against Shadow at the end, that shit's fire. Like, I really think the moments where he's in, but I do think he is not fully there yet. So I actually am going to put movie Sonic in A. I feel like he needs like one more movie of him, like, you know, upping his, you know, dialogue, growing up a bit more, and then he is gonna be an S, right? But I always love Sonic. That's my guy right there, and I hope for the next movie, you know, we get more dialogue, like, you know, how he had in the post-credit scene of movie 3, where he's just like, if you're gonna try to take on the fastest thing in life, just try to keep up, or like, you know, you better not miss. Stuff like that is cooler and in line with Sonic. So A rank for me there. Let's grab Gerald. You know, instead of just going on, let's grab Gerald here. I think Gerald in the movie universe is handled pretty well, right? I think Gerald is, you know, a different take this time around. He doesn't die. He's a bit, you know, zanier because he works with Eggman. But I will say, you know, creepy Gerald is pretty creepy. You know, like, he still retains that feeling, you know, when he's locked in at the end, being like, oh, Ivo, you're no Maria, when he's ready to like sacrifice himself and the entire planet. He still manipulates Shadow, which is really cool, you know, and obviously not cool that he does that, but cool that he still keeps those characteristics, and he's still manipulative. So I think I would have liked to see a bit more of that side of him. That, you know, what makes Gerald so fascinating in the games is that, like, he's a really tragic character, right? You know, he works with Gun, he works with Black Doom, and he creates Shadow, and his, you know, Maria has an illness. Like, there's a lot of tragedy in his story that I feel like they take out in these movies, but I think for the most part, they handled him pretty well, and he's still creepy, you know, as zany as he can be as Jim Carrey. He's still pretty good. So I would say, like, yeah, movie Gerald is gonna be a B rank for me. You know, he's I think that's a solid placement for him. All right, man, this is what Peso Pete or Pinball Pete. This is you know, Wade's abandoned father. I don't care, man. Like, it's like, this is just what a what a nothing. I mean, he's not like, okay, factually, if we're talking about like how a character is written, he's not like genuinely like uninteresting. He's played as the villain who betrays his son. He's just kind of a rich dickhead. I guess I'll just put him in D. I mean, he's got some entertaining moments, but that's really where the buck stops with this guy. And that's how I feel about most of the Knuckles show characters when we get into them. But yeah, there's really not much to say about this guy, nor do you want me to hear or talk about this guy. But you know who is a character I really love in here? Tails. Let's talk about movie Tails. I'm not gonna lie to you, movie Tails now, I feel like he still has a lot more stuff to do. Like, I think I would love to see us get to the point where, like, movie Tails, you know, makes his own mech. But as, you know, the gadget guy, as he calls himself, as Sonic's best friend, you know, the cute dance scene in the movie too, right? All his dialogue, the fact that it's voiced by Game Tails, you know, enhances it a lot. The design is perfect. I feel like Tails has a really good mix of being like the heart of the group, you know, the little brother of the group. You know, I love in movie 3 when he's just like, Sonic, like, we can do this. And then, you know, when Sonic gets mad at him, you got Knuckles be like, whoa, like, he's just trying to comfort you, you know, just again, very little brother vibes, being like, I thought we were supposed to work as a team, right? And so while obviously, you know, Tails can, you know, I still think Tails in the movies needs that arc where he's just like, I can do things without Sonic. I think for the most part, he's handled pretty well. He's very cute and very cool. I'm gonna put him in A, right? I'll put him behind Sonic in A. I think he's better than Gerald. He's got a bit more screen time and he's really good. I like Tails' interpretation in the movies. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. Who do we grab? Let's talk about Wade. Okay. Now, I know we like to meme about Wade, right? Very, you know, goofy character. I will say, right, his funny moments are really funny. I think in small bursts, Wade is really entertaining. Like in movie 1, I like him as, you know, the dumb cop buddy to Tom. I like, you know, when he's like trapped in the police station with Eggman and Stone. I like in movie 2 when he does the stupid good cop, bad cop thing with Agent Stone. I think Wade has entertaining moments. Now, the Knuckles show is a double-edged sword, where again, I like Wade. I think he's funny, but it's a bit too much. Like, he's got a bit too much sadness in terms of like his dad leaving and, you know, being like the odd one out type character. I don't know. I've always said this, like, Wade is like the Patrick Star show, where like like Patrick is funny because he's accompanied by SpongeBob, right? But when you put him all alone for a long period of time, it becomes like, okay, well, if the joke is that everything is dumb and I'm dumb and all this, it doesn't work as well. But as a character himself, he's not awful, and so I'll put him in C, right? He does say the flames of disaster, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I think Wade is like the definition of a C rank character for sec. He's not awful, but, you know, he's not great either. He's also the protector of the Master Emerald, so I mean, what else could you ask for? And I will say, I really do like his dynamic with Knuckles. Like, I think him and Knuckles work, especially, you know, Knuckles wanting to train him, right? And just, I like that they have a friendship. I think, like I said, I would have liked if it was more Knuckles and Wade and not just Wade. And I think that really says a lot about how much I like them together. This F. I don't even want to talk about it, dude. Wade's sister, genuinely, I think, like, thank God Wade's sister did not show up in a movie. Unironically, I think that would have bumped the movie down on Rotten Tomatoes and everything to like a 7 instead of an 86. This character is unbearable. They're annoying. She's like a complete dickhead to Wade. I think she like stabs him in the shoulder, or he does it to, I don't know. It's like a psycho family. It's a character I do not care about, don't like, and I don't think anybody ever wants to see this character or cares about this character. She's just such a, it's like a nothingness character. It's a bland, existent character that they have in there for the sake of Wade having it. It's, oh god, I cannot stand this character. Genuinely awful from start. No. Let's rank our boy Agent Stone. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? Agent Stone, ooh, nothing is wrong with him. Genuinely a perfect character. I really do think that. I think every scene with Lee is a standout, right? Agent Stone, sorry about that. Every show with Agent Stone / Lee is a standout scene. I think his relationship with Eggman, obviously, a man's in love with him. But I just, even beyond that, I think the relationship is really funny. I like, you have the psycho scientist with a really loyal person who is just willing to do anything for him. I love the ridiculousness of it. You know how, like, you know, he draws Eggman in the coffee. I love stuff, you know, how he, how he like wants to be dragged with them when Eggman has his power. powers and like he's being dragged into the air. I love how protective he is of Eggman. I love how funny he could be. I love it. Even, you know, with Sonic Gang, how he says that thing with this where he's just like, I think you're adorable. Like, he's able to be cool, funny, like, you know, understand. I feel like everybody would love to see Stone in a bigger role in these movies. Now, has Stone done anything crazy yet? No, I think he is still waiting for his like crazy moment. And so I think like I would put Agent Stone like right between Tails and Sonic. I think I actually like Stone a bit more than Tails just because Stone's scenes are like so standout and the relationship with Eggman is like such a unique one, right? In the, just even in general, right? Having movie Eggman have like a partner like Stone is amazing. And yeah, I just love the character. I think a lot of people agree that Stone or Agent Stone is one of the most standouts in the movie universe. All right, guys, I think I am ready to crown my first S rank of this list, and that is going to be Knuckles. I adore Knuckles in the movie universe. I think movie Knuckles genuinely is perfect. Like I really, one, has an awesome amount of screen time, you know, in when movie 2, movie 3, and you know, even in Knuckles, the biggest problem with the Knuckles show is he's barely in it. Because the best scenes of the Knuckles show are the scenes with Knuckles. I think Idris Elba's, you know, voice for the character is amazing. I think they really saved Knuckles from being a character that could have just been like, you know, oh, I am dumb and lost, right? But they made it so that like he's a warrior, he's smart, he's cool, right? He's just a bit of a fish out of water, you know, where like he doesn't really know all his surroundings. You know, he is a bit of a meathead in the sense of always wanting to fight. But again, he has his nobility carries him so much. I think that aspect of him is so commendable. Like I will always love that moment in Sonic movie 3 where, you know, he's about to fight with Sonic being like, don't do this, you know, we have to protect the Master Emerald, and you know, he's just like, you know what, if you want to go ahead and do this, go ahead, you know, I'm not doing this. Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you, Sonic, right? And I just love that nobility between them. I love even in movie 2 how you see him, even though he's being manipulated by Eggman, right? You see him really just, I love in movie 2, even when you see him with Eggman, like the more he hears of Eggman just being, you know, not loyal to Agent Stone, you see him questioning it. Like that's a big part of his character. I think his action scenes are super good in movie 2. I think his personality, like he's such a happy, upbeat character with how he handles it. I adore Knuckles, Idris Elba style. I think absolutely S tier character. One of the best, if not best, interpretations of Knuckles in the entire series, besides maybe like the Knuckles prologue in Frontiers. All right, next up we got Randall, who's too much to handle from movie 2. Kind of 3. I like Randall. I think he is, you know, a cool character, right? I think, you know, the obvious fact that he is a member of Gun, he's obviously extremely charming in the movies, you know, fake playing Rachel's husband, you know, slowly falling for her. I think there's obviously a lot of ridiculous aspects of the character, and they make fun of it, especially like in movie 3 when, you know, Tom, you know, changes to, he's just like, I'm Randall, I'm too much to handle. I would have actually liked if he was in that form more in movie 3, because I think Randall is really funny and charming, but again, he is kind of tethered to this side plot line that doesn't really do much for the movie, so he's not bad. I mean, I would just put him in like C, maybe. I wouldn't put him like Gerald level, but I'd put him in C. Ooh, let's rank Dr. Eggman, Gerald, aka Jim Carrey Eggman. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I think, ooh, now here's the big question, do I like Jim Carrey, Gerald Eggman more than Sonic? I don't know about that. I look, here's my thing. I think his performance as Eggman is fantastic. I think this is as best of a live action Eggman as you get in terms of seriousness, in terms of even emotional moments like you get in movie 3. I really think that he is perfect during all this. If anything, like I think he's one of these standout characters, and in fact, he is a huge reason to get some. And I'm telling you, how many people adore, you know, Jim Carrey Eggman is insane, right? I think he does the character extremely well. I think he knows, you know, he has the cool robots for it. You know, he has the perfect dialogue, a mix of sassiness, cuteness, funniness. Like I do think he is an S tier character. If you're talking bar for bar, the character that I think, it's weird, like it's not exactly faithful to the game one, right? But it's like as crazy as you can get to a game version in live action. I don't know how Jim Carrey does it, but like he does it so incredibly well, to the point where like he literally played two characters in movie 3. That's how well he plays the Robotnik family line. I think he's fantastic. One of the standouts. A big reason why a lot of casuals love these movies. And I think like as a longtime fan, yeah, it doesn't necessarily follow the game template one-to-one in terms of what Eggman does. I think it's like as close as you get, you know, and I think that's pretty commendable and fantastic in its own right. All right, let's rank Tom, aka Donut Lord. Where do I put Donut Lord? I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think Donut Lord is a character that is very lovable. I think that they set that up really quickly from movie 1 all the way to movie 3. It's like Tom never has this moment where like, oh, he's in the wrong or oh, he's a dickhead. He's just kind of like a really well done, like fun, loving character. From movie 1, you could see right away like how much he cares for his wife. You know, obviously he's working in a small town taking care of little animals and critters. He has a bit of ambition, right? In movie 1, how he wants to go work in the big city and not live in Green Hills. And then, you know, he meets Sonic, has a nice journey with him and realizes like, hey, like helping the little guy isn't so bad. So he's got a bit of that story arc. Now, they do abandon the idea of Tom having like story arcs in movie 2 and 3, which again is for the better because you want to focus on the Sonic characters. But as a father figure for Sonic, I think he's really good. And I like how he's willing to fight. You know, he's willing to get in. Like, that's the thing about him is he could have just been like, let me sit back at home and I'm just gonna guide Sonic. I do like that he gets involved, whether in movie 2, like him punching Randall, being involved, you know, and helping Sonic in the wedding scene stuff or trying to help him escape. How many people he punches in the face is hysterical, right? Movie 3, him being sort of the catalyst of Sonic, you know, getting angry and going crazy because he cares about him so much. I would put Tom in a probably above Agent Stone because he has a lot more screen time. Again, he's very lovable in these movies throughout, like genuinely, and he's charming and he's like the Donut Lord, right? That's the fucking guy. How y'all gonna fuck with the Donut Lord himself, bro? I love that little bit in movie 3. He's just like, it's little Tom, and he's like, he's a bit of a weirdo, he's lovable and everything. I just love Tom so much in these movies. Wade's mom, okay, Wade's mom is not awful. She does have that funny little fight scene with Knuckles in the kitchen, but that's sort of really it. I mean, I think she also goes in the D tier. There's not really much to say about her as a character. You know, she's just kind of there for those episodes or two. She does have like a nice relationship with her family, you know, and she has some funny moments with Knuckles. But again, it's one of those things of like, that's kind of where the buck stops there. Now, my boy Kid Cudi, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a really fun character. This dude had so much fun playing one of the main villains in the Knuckles show, right? Along with the other agent. I don't remember their names, right? But I think these two were really funny. It was sort of like a Jesse and James dynamic, but the way like he came off as like super evil and tried to have a good time, right? And he was just so cool with the mech car. Like, I think he's super charming and lovable. I'm honestly gonna put him at a B tier. I think he's just a fun villain. I almost wish there was more of him. I wish he was one of the characters that translated to movie 3 from the Knuckles show, because you could tell he was having fun. We know he's a fan of Sonic, and so it was cool to see him play a character. And while again, he doesn't really have a cool story arc or anything, like it's a very much Jesse and James dynamic. And I feel like with the other agent, you could tell she was a bit more serious and not as fun with it. She took it a bit more serious. I'd put her like in C, maybe like underweight between. Now I'll put her under Randall. I think a C tier for her. But again, Kid Cudi, that's my guy having a good time. Maria, let's place Maria. Where do I want to put Maria? Maria. What do we think about ye old Maria? I'm gonna say Maria was an incredible interpretation of the character. It was nice to see a bit more of Maria. Now, we've been getting a lot more glimpses of Maria this year, whether it's Shadow Gen's Dark Beginnings or Shadow Generations in general. But it was cool to see a bit more of her life on the arc. You know, it's cool to see when she meets Shadow doing that little drawing over him right away, not caring about what he looked like and just, you know, having fun with somebody. And whether it was her teaching Shadow how to dance, you know, them chilling under the stars. Like, I think she's just a really well done interpretation of the character. Now, I don't really want to judge her for like not having her illness and being like 100% game accurate, but I think for a movie version of a character that doesn't last long, she really does leave an impact on Shadow and the viewers. And so for that, I will put her in A rank. I think she deserves it. She sets out to do what she's meant to do, and she does it incredibly well. So, and she doesn't get shot, she explodes. I was right. It is what it is. All right, so this guy. So if you guys remember, this guy is like the main villain for the Knuckles show. I'm putting this guy in F. Literally, this guy like shows up in the beginning, is like, oh, go stop this man, whatever. He says some things, and then he shows up at the last episode in a mech, and then he loses, and we're never gonna see him again, nor should we. Genuinely, the definition of a wasted character, a dumb character. I genuinely would have wished what's his name, my boy over here, was the GOAT and was the main villain, because he's awful. He's just useless. He's not even awful. He's just like the idea of just pure nothingness. Like, hey, here's the big bad at the end for no reason. All right, make Kid Cudi the star of the Knuckles show next time, please. Thank you. I don't know why Amy is here, not Metal Sonic, but I mean, Amy, look, you know what? Just for her design alone, hey, look at her, cutie, absolute cutie. Look at this cutie. Look at her. She's just so cute. I just wanna grab her with a punch. She's a cutie. All right, let's rank Olive Garden guy. Okay, so Olive Garden guy. He's been in all 3 movies, presumably dead right now, presumably dead. I think he is a bit unceremonious. Not that like he would need a ceremony, but I feel like he was a character that popped up enough between movie 1 and 2 that like them not even acknowledging his death at the end or caring about it is a little bit weird. But I will say Olive Garden guy, that's not even his name. His name is Commander Walters. I think he left a good impression on people. I think he was a funny character, obviously trying to be the serious military guy, but underneath him, like a very silly individual, right? Started gun, funny enough. And you know, with the flashbacks in movie 3, you realize he's one of the guys who wanted to save Maria. Like, you know, he comes up at the end being like, they're just kids. He's trying to stop the bullet from hitting them. So Commander Walters, in that sense, you get a lot more to his backstory. It's cool that he was in the base back in the. I think he's just a really fun character. I would put him like in B, like right under Gerald, right? Because I just think like he's obviously like just a side character that, you know, says, you know, has moments is there, but I think he becomes very lovable by the time you're at movie 3. You know, like when he announces the fake wedding thing that they did to Rachel, that shit is hysterical. In movie 1, you know, him giving, you know, Tom the Olive Garden card. Movie 3, even him hanging out with Sonic and gang at the Chow Garden. But of course, rest in peace to Commander Walters. All right, let's rank Maddie. Maddie plays the role of the amazing supportive mother in this. And you know what's cool is after rewatching the movies, I forgot that she's a vet. And that's why she's so easily loved by like Knuckles and Sonic and the gang. Like she sort of just understands just being caring and nurturing to like creatures. And so to have them as like a family is really good. I like that she's supportive of Tom. I like that she's supportive. I like that she likes to get involved. You know, in movie 2, you have the moment with her trying to break in to save Tails. In movie 3, and even in movie 2, her and Tom, you know, driving to save Sonic. Like they're always together. It could have been a mistake they made where they sort of like sidelined Maddie and just it was all about Tom, and she's just like, oh, I'm supportive, why? But I'm glad they took the initiative to make her as cool as Tom. And even in movie 3, like her and him like breaking into the base together, I would put them side by side. You know, a beautiful couple. Those are my goats. You know, I love them. Now this is crazy. What's his name? Crazy Steven or Crazy Pete. I mean, this guy, I mean, just he's a D. I mean, he's not like, he is not offensive. Like to me, these two are like offensive. He is more of like a whatever. He's just a joke character. Like he sees Sonic as this alien, and they sort of never like commit to it or continue the bit with him. But I mean, good for him, I guess. All right, let's rank my boy Shadow. Let's do it. Shadow the Hedgehog, I think, is incredible. I think they handled him perfectly well in this movie. The voice is fantastic by Keanu Reeves. I think the direction they take this character is raw. He literally has the gun. He has the motorcycle. He has the tragic backstory. He has the funny dialogue. He has the raw dialogue. He looks perfect. I feel like Sonic movie Shadow is genuinely like my favorite thing. I think he definitely needs a bit more screen time to see where he'll rank overall. You know, I think someone did a calculation that like he has a total of like 17, 18 minutes of screen time in the movie, but with Shadow, you need that. Shadow's a character everybody adores, and so you gotta salvage, you know, you gotta salivate for every moment. Every time Shadow spoke, it felt like a moment, whether it was revenge guac, whether it was try to keep up, whether it was, you know, the light shines even though a star is gone. I just think everything he says is memorable. I think his interpretation is as closest to the original Sonic Adventure 2 as any interpretation after that has ever gone. I just think he's cool. Everything about him is fantastic. Super Shadow, everything. I love Shadow so much in these movies, and I think you do too. Who the fuck is this little girl? Can someone tell me? I literally, like, I have no clue. I literally just watched these movies. I have no idea who this child is. I guess I'll rank her in F. Who are you? This is the motorcycle guy that like competes with Wade. Again, just like a nothing D character. He's not caring at all. He doesn't mind. I don't like him. Now Rachel. Ooh, I feel like Rachel. Do I want to put her in the same place as Randall? Because she does have a bit more screen time. I think Rachel is charming, right? You know, getting ultra nasty. I like in movie one how she just doesn't like Tom, and she's yelling at Maddie, be like, "I knew you shouldn't have just him." Like, obviously, with Rachel, you could argue she's the crux of taking a lot of screen time, but she's also been through a lot. You know, they faked an entire wedding for her. I do like that it kind of bring her up in movie 3 again. Like, there's some charm about Rachel, and I think Rachel is a bit like Wade, where I like her in doses, but not when she's like the star of this show, right? So I think I would put her in sort of the Wade territory, right around the C rank. Oh, and I just added this because it wasn't near Metal Slime. I mean, I'm just gonna put these two at A just because they look amazing, but that's really it. But yeah, I think that's like a fair ranking of the movie characters. Now, obviously, I can't wait till we get to a point one day where most of these are actual Sonic characters and not, you know, random NPC humans. But I do think like I think it's a good thing to me that there's a lot of A tier characters, right? I do think though Knuckles, Shadow, and Eggman are like the peak of what they could be. I think, like I said, Sonic needs a bit more craziness and cool factor to get to the S, just because Sonic's a character I adore so much, and I just want more for him, right? And then Tails, I wanted to get a mech, you know, let him go crazy. But these characters are getting towards the S tier, and the lower ranks are kind of characters that don't matter anyway. But like I said, once we get the Chaotix, we get Metal and Amy fully in these movies, we get everything, it's gonna be a beautiful sight to behold. So guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think. What characters would you rank up higher, lower? And of course, I love you, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.